And each block space is used for a different situation and has its own set of properties. That means Bitcoin is the safest. At this point, Bitcoin is the only thing that can really be used with it. In that way, it's great. DeFi, not Ethereum, has been the big thing. Also, NFTs are very important, but that's also gone to Solana. Raoul is a famous investor who is also the CEO of Real Vision and a co-founder of Global Macro Investors. He is in today's video. He talks about the reasons he thinks there will be a slump years ahead of time. It's not as bad as people think, which is why you should use the instability in cryptocurrencies and the fact that the business cycle is just starting to turn up now, that central banks are lowering interest rates and making money available to more people. Two things affect the amount of money that moves into ETFs: net inflows and people. People who play the futures market without a plan are called arbitrages. We don't know what that flow was then. They would then buy the ETF after selling the futures, which were worth more than the ETF. We don't know what kind of flow it was, but let's say it was net inflows, since yesterday Binance also saw record inflows. I think that the teaching that Michael Saylor and everyone else has been doing has helped people start to understand the game. Even Larry Fink has been talking about the game. The game is losing your purchasing power, but not through normal CPI inflation. Instead, it's through this more dangerous idea of debasement. I believe that people now know and understand that this type of stock is very risky. Folks are beginning to understand that I buy sell-offs if they happen. As I said at the start of the show, over the years, that same approach has also worked very well in the Nasdaq. You have a big long-term trend. Any wobbles are usually a sign that you should buy. Solana, what do you think? Solana is quick and doesn't cost much. New ideas are coming up all the time, and people are making lots of nice, simple apps to use it. So what makes a blockchain useful? Nice apps that are easy to use and don't cost much. It's really beating all the measures against other chains right now, which is why its price is higher than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's why it's been the big surprise of this cycle. It's getting a lot of attention, so I think it will keep going. It's just a quick and easy chain. Another thing is that many of the apps are really easy to use. There are various chains that can be utilized for various tasks. Ethereum is safe and is likely the one that the banking industry will build on top of, whether it's layer 2s or something else, because it's very safe, has been battle tested a lot, is respectful, and is still new. So for the most part, Solana looks like it's better for shopping and fast moving uses. Due to how fast it is, even crypto platforms may be able to build on the new Fire Dancer part of it. I don't really understand this, so I think people watching this should know that. It's very easy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana are all just private companies that sell space on their blockchain. And each block space is different in its own way. There are different ways to use them. That means Bitcoin is the safest. At this point, Bitcoin is the only thing that can really be used with it. In that way, it's great. DeFi, not Ethereum, has been the big thing. Also, NFTs are very important, but that's also gone to Solana. Because it handles such valuable trades, Ethereum is probably the best chain for banks to use when they want to send gigabits of money to each other. Solana, it is the best choice for getting a lot of things done quickly, as well as Sui the Mr. Labs one, Avalanche, and other options for games. We will also look at other things such as turning old Web 2 social networks into Web 3 ones or music. Each of them will find a blockchain that works better for their needs. So that's what you should remember as a trader. How do I keep this job? As long as you can and add up the biggest numbers. If I asked anyone from 1990, would you have bought the Nasdaq, they would all have said, hell yes, here it is 1990, not 1999, 1990. Yes, you go. That's where we are now, with the Nasdaq in the mid-1990s. I believe it's not really important since the US dollar is the world's main currency. The US does not need to keep other goods on hand. Even though it has gold in it, that's because it used to be based on gold. People in other countries don't need it because their own currencies need funds to back them up. Would they do it now? It sounds flashy to me. I'm not sure why. Let us say though that they do. Let's say I'm wrong and they do build something. What a strange world we live in. Of course, it's good for the crypto market that there's now another buyer. Bitcoin was created to try to take over money from the government, which is also strange. Now you add the government as one of the biggest buyers of private money. That's not something I like, but it's probably good for the price of crypto. It might push people who use money privately away from Bitcoin now. If that were the case, Bitcoin has successfully sent in two different death crosses in the past week. This worrying change has not yet been noticed by the business world. The death crosses have four trend lines in them. The 21-day 7 eyes recent crossing below the 100-day counterpart has been matched by the 50-day and 200-day simple moving averages, as well as the 21, 5100 and 200-day simple moving averages. The second death cross was too much for the Bitcoin bulls to handle. Well-known trader Benjamin C. has said that because the cryptocurrency markets are so volatile, a daily finish above $62,000 is needed to stop more death crosses from happening in the future. Keith Allen, co-founder of Trading Resource Material Indicators, posted a short video analysis on August 11th to back up what he had said earlier. Allen said that the death crosses were not the end of the world, but rather a sign that rising volatility could still cancel out the effects again. You'll have to wait and see until then. The most up-to-date information from the cryptocurrency fear and greed measure is very strange. Fear and greed in the market hit their lowest levels since July 2022 on August 6, with big changes that show how unpredictable it is. This was worse than the response to the FTX crash at the end of that year. In just a few days, the next BTC price rally went from extreme worry to calm, with prices rising to 481 100s and then dropping again. There is still a lot of fear around cryptocurrencies, even though the prices haven't dropped as much as people thought they would on August 12th. It's likely that NFTs are the most powerful tool in all of crypto. Nothing can keep its value in a world where you can make more digital things and they all lose value. An NFT makes digital things scarce, which in turn creates digital value. It's also a way to store and share ownership of something, like a digital right or a contract. So the NFT craze of monkey JPEGs and other things was just the first time the technology was used. I believe that some of those things like digital art will become very important over time. But this technology will be used for many things like digital IDs or world tickets. For example, California has started to use it for car titles. They'll probably be used for property records. They'll probably be used for derivative trades, I think. That means NFTs haven't even begun as a technology. There will be so many of them that you won't even notice that each event ticket you buy is an NFT. Just about every deal you make will be an NFT. Some art, like those by XCOPY and Beeple, are culture artists